where we are playing Savage Rifts in a post-apocalyptic fantasy wonderland of every genre brought into one. When last we left our group, they were at the town of Dockwall, which they had just saved from a winter of starvation and horror, after uncovering a plot by the Coalition to concoct a virus that can kill off animal life. Them being the heroes that they are, the big damn heroes, they are now ready to move on, getting out of Coalition territory, as both of them are on the run. We have Deyton here playing Beethoven, the rogue dog boy, and Mitch being the burster pyromaniac Iggy. So, if y'all remember, there was a big man named Meister Brandt. He was the hunt master of Dockwall. You went and saved his daughter.
That's not Shani, is it? Shani?
Shani is your NPC.
His daughter, Andy.
His daughter was Andy, yep. Yeah. So as the next morning rolls around after your celebration, after getting back from your successful mission, Meister Brandt comes and visits you. He says, I know you all are heading west to try to get out of this territory. Part of our problems happened because of our alliance with the Coalition, which obviously the Council is finally seeing the downfalls of that alliance. But we used to have an ally in a town just west and north of here, about 4 or 5 days, though they were a bit lenient on the magic and the dimensional beings, so we had to cut ties with them when it was chosen that we ally ourselves with the Coalition. Though we still did trading with them, and they didn't show up last month to trade with us, so I'm a bit concerned. If you're heading out that way, do you think you can stop by there? I mean, you'd probably get help there anyway, seeing as what you are.
Dog whistle.
It's a town called Castle Hill. There's a castle. It's on a hill.
Okay.
So they were lenient on magic. Were they magic practitioners themselves in mass?
Their protector and leader was a ley line walker.
So obviously it was well known, which is why they had to cut ties with the Coalition.
And why we had to cut ties with them officially, even though we still traded with them twice a year for food and other supplies.
Are they near a ley line?
I'm not sure. Dog boys lose their senses, they get overwhelmed when they're near ley lines, which crisscross all over the Rifts universe.
I don't see why we couldn't take a look. We're headed that way anyway, and any help's appreciated both ways. So
yeah, Shani is like,
agreed.
They'd probably have a higher outlook on us as well. Maybe I won't get immediately accused of being a witch walking into that town.
Makes sense.
And my question, are we going on foot, or is Dockwall going to allow us to use one of their vehicles?
They lost most of their vehicles.
Okay.
So, yeah, they only have the one, and they need that. So, yes, you are still walking.
You got 4 legs. Yeah.
Actually, I only have 3.
Oh, yeah, that's
It's that big.
I thought you were talking about your tail.
Yikes.
Because that tucks in.
Easy. So. Do. One second while I check.
I thought you were checking.
I'm checking the stream. I got a network error displaying, so I just want to make sure we're actually live. Yeah, we are. I think.
Should we take a look?
Yeah. Just clicking. Oh, and it's taking forever to load.
Yes, mature audiences.
Yes, mature audiences only. Some of these people like to swear.
Some of these people.
Mature audiences only. Yeah, alright. Some of these people. Turn that off before it infinite loops. Alright, so you guys head out towards the directions that they give you, which is the direction you're going anyway. They said the road goes out, and then it's going to, there's going to be a forest to your north, and you're going to see an old shack, like rundown shack, just cut right into the forest past that shack, and you'll pick up a trail inside the forest.
Alright, let's give it a shot.
Alright.
And we're all rested.
You're all rested, you got your ISP back, you have rations.
I still have the rope.
The rope, you still have the rope, they're going to let you keep that.
Did not give the rope back.
Good.
You also have this woman with you that you don't know much about. The rogue scholar, the wilderness scout.
We know she can handle herself, though.
She did kill 2 dead boys alone.
That's more. You killed like what, 1? You got 1?
No, he killed 3.
You got 3.
Yeah, gunned down 2 with a turret.
Oh, let's try to figure out the turret, guys.
So,
Right.
you guys walk a couple days. Anything you want to discuss, talk about, bring up on this journey?
Do we know how far we are from the coalition border at this point? Do you know how far we are?
Oh, from the edge of what's CS Minnesota.
Because I know we're heading for the new frontier, but I want to know when it's kind of safe to let my hair down, kind of thing.
You're still probably 2 weeks of walking. Like, if you get a vehicle, you're going to be able to pass through this really quick, but walking is not the greatest.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, anything?
Do we want to ask Shani what the hell her deal is?
Go for it.
You do it.
You talk to her. You talk to her. Oh, they're so adorable.
So what are you doing out here, Shani?
Do you remember what you've already discussed with her?
To a degree.
She's a DB from another place. She's just passing through. She's like,
So I guess I should say, where are you headed? If you're coming with us, what's your end game? What do you hope to achieve?
Well, for now, I'm just safety in numbers. Don't want to be called a witch again or anything like that. But eventually, I think I want to head south.
Why?
I don't know. I hear it's warmer there.
That's very true.
Nice this time of year.
Is it warmer down there, Beethoven?
CS Lone Star is down there, where they produce most of the dog boys.
It is much warmer down there. I don't really care for it. I have a thick coat.
You do have a thick coat.
Yep. Well, I mean, I'm good with this arrangement for now, so no reason to bust it up, right? She says. Why mess with a good thing?
Yeah. So, onward we go.
Alright. You get to a shack, and you head north.
What's in the shack? Nothing. That's just
it's like ruins. Like
it was
it's
a point.
Yeah,
that's right. It was a plot.
You go in there, and it's graffitied up, and there's broken bottles and bullet holes and cartridges and all that kind of stuff. Just looks like a little trashy point. You do notice that there's a smell of urine and other intoxicants in there, but it's probably also used as a stash point at some
Gotcha.
here and there.
Squatted pretty frequently. Yeah.
So you head north past that into the forest, where you're walking up to the forest, and all of a sudden, like, a mountain range is behind it. And this area is not known to be very mountainous, so that's probably something that occurred when the rifts appeared and changed the landscape. And the rifts have been known to even bring in features, geographical features, and landscape in entire cities from other places. So it's probably where this castle came from. It just got rifted in during the catastrophe, and all of a sudden there was this castle.
Are we too far away for him to be able to figure out if that is what happened or not? Like, can he sense the way?
Yeah, that stuff is too old, and once it's here, it's a permanent fixture. There's no real magic to it anymore. But he will know almost immediately if he gets near a ley line.
Yeah.
So you guys heading into the forest, you do pick up the path. Like, there's no path from the road to the forest. It's like, just looks like field and just normal grass. It hasn't been tramped down or anything like that. And then the moment you get in there, there's a well-worn path. So something keeps the path from extending out into the open and giving away the location of this entrance, essentially.
This is what we were told to look for, right?
Yes, you were told to look for the...
So the directions were very good. We found it.
Yeah. Inside the forest, you start walking, and it starts to get darker, like almost dusk light coming through, even though you're heading north, and it's still pretty early in the morning since you've set out.
And it's not from tree cover, like it's unnatural darkness.
It's starting it's getting kind of weird. It's getting kind of weird, man. That's me circles that long. Give me a notice check.
I should say, Beethoven, why is it getting so dark?
I don't know, maybe something to flame on, flamer.
Here we go, fire. 13.
Wait a minute.
Oh, that's right.
16.
Yeah. He notices
16?
16.
Mm-hmm. There isn't a distinct smell or thing you can pick up, but you're now starting to realize that there's almost like an atmospheric pressure. Like if a storm is going to come or something like that, you're starting to feel this very large, ominous kind of presence or pressure on you.
Feeling some pressure.
Gotcha. That has been skinnied, I get it. This isn't like normal storm pressure. Can you feel if it's magic or not?
Yeah, that's where your senses are kind of primarily attuned, so you think that this is definitely supernatural.
Gotcha.
A supernatural oppression.
So we should all be on our guard.
There's definitely a chance for encountering what Shani's not. Just saying.
For what
She
Shani's
got accused of being a witch.
Oh, I was like...
I'm just saying, witches do exist.
They do.
That's true. All right, well, let's continue
Some
on.
witches are even spelled with a Y.
Ooh. It's too spoopy for me.
Spoopy. So you continue on a little bit more cautious, and the trees get starker and then more barren and more oppressive, and it starts to get to the whole Blair Witch Project feel in here.
So even though the trees are becoming barren, we're still losing light.
You're still losing
It's
light.
not making any sense yet.
It's you're going forward, and it's not that you're losing light. It's just that less and less of it's getting through. It's that dusk feel or cloud cover feel. Even though you're looking up and you're just kind of looking up in a gray sky, and eventually you get to the point where it's so gradual you haven't noticed it. There wasn't a point where you go, oh, this is it switches over. But there's a point you go, everything's kind of tinged red. And
so we've kind of recently noticed that everything kind of hued.
Almost like it's that sunset type, feel where there's a red tinge to the light. And you are starting to get that kind of have to pop your ears. Your senses are just getting overwhelmed. You're now starting to realize that you can't sense anything. It's gotten to the point where this oppression or whatever is going on is blanking out your senses, and it's like built up like a rotten egg smell, and it's just closing everything off.
So when he loses skills like that, what does he lose? I mean, does he lose some perception or some smarts, or is it just...
He loses the ability, like, he uses keen senses, so he doesn't get that +2 anymore.
Gotcha.
And I'm not going to just straight up tell him he can start rolling when Supernatural's around. It's got to be strong or closer, okay. So...
That's what it is.
Yeah. You enter a break in the forest where there's a little like stream running through. So there's a bit of a clear area and there's a downgrade. So you can kind of see up and through the tree line. And you see the mountain, mountain hill. It's not like a mountain range, like huge, but it's a hill line. And you see the blue glow of a ley line going over it.
Over the hill.
Over the hill. And you're like...
toward.
That you're traveling towards, yes. You're going to be, like, it looks like the path's kind of going off west still, and, like, it's straight in front of you to the north. But, yeah, it's like, that's up there, and you know that the castle is going to be on that hill at some point. So it seems like you're going towards that thing. But up here, while you're sitting there, and the stream is there, the trees have thinned out a little bit because of the banks. Both of you make me perception checks. No keen senses. Notice checks.
I'm not mistaken. I forgot to add my keen sense to the last roll, but whoop-de-doo.
So it would have been an 18, and you would have noticed even more that you don't have keen senses anymore.
Hey.
I rolled a 5.
What'd you know?
What?
Oh, where'd you know? It's already 19. 22?
Yeah. What'd you get?
6.
Okay. So, like, you're sitting up there and you're like, popping your ears and stuff like that, and you're trying to fight through this and you're trying to get attuned, and you whiff something foul. Like something bad. It's
worse
magic.
than him?
Yeah, it's not like him. It is bad him. It is like, this isn't a smell you have smelled before. It is a type of magic you are not familiar with, and it smells like death. But magic. But magic. I think there's a fart joke in there.
Butt magic is pretty good.
I mean, it smells like death and is butt magic.
That was Deyton's nickname in jail.
In the kennel, you mean?
Never in jail.
So, yeah, something that smells terrible, and it's nearby and getting stronger.
Dope.
Do you want to head towards it or do you want to get away from it?
I feel like we should ask that question to you, because I'm going to be...
Because I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
a little off, let's say.
It's true. I don't know, I'm feeling pretty high off my last encounter. I feel like I'd be pretty cocky and ready to do this.
Confident, let's go.
I mean, yeah, you're just finally ready to face whatever the thing is that's going on here. Get to, understand what's going on.
I can fight if we need to, I just can't.
I had to burn a lot of things last time and it ended up being a lot of fun.
I
So.
can almost barely tell directions at this point.
All right.
Is it for everything that bad?
Yeah, it's pretty bad for him.
I am technically supposed to gain fatigue based on...
No.
You're not getting fatigued yet. You're not close enough to the ley line, but this oppression is something different.
Okay.
All right.
I know that's part of my ley line weakness.
Yes. So, you guys want to try to go towards it, or do you want to try to set up and see if it's coming towards you?
Maybe we should...
Let's track it. Let's get a drop for once.
Okay. Tracking.
Let's
no
track
bonus.
it.
Do you have tracking?
Says the guy without tracking over here.
That's what I get you.
I'm not doing so well right now.
Also, were we supposed to get bennies when we started?
What? No.
Okay.
You get
I get
You have one?
You get plus
You
one.
have one, right?
Yes,
So
I have one.
here's your second. Oh, nope.
I was like, I have 3A.
So you have 4, you have 2. Shani has 3.
Hey, where'd you know? 13.
What's tracking off of? Is that it's off smarts, right?
Smarts.
Mm-hmm.
13 plus 6. 19.
No keen senses.
Nope.
So 19.
19.
Nice. Shani got a 10. She's decent at tracking, but you're of course much better. So you get off the ridge line over the water, and you hop over the stream basically. Head forward, and you're starting to see some signs of recent movement through here. So you kind of like track it, and it looks like there's been patrols or wandering something through here. People have been walking through here, things, and you come around and start to come up on, you probably already saw, a group of Skelebots. So there are 7 of them. These are Skelebots. I don't know if this
Can he tell if that's what he's sensing or not?
Yes, because these Skelebots don't look good. They don't look healthy. I mean, they're robots, but they're like covered or spattered in what almost seems to be like red veins that are pulsing over their bodies and breaking through their armor and carapace. Their eyes are glowing red, and some of them have bits that are missing that have been replaced with other things, like a missing leg or arm. One of them is missing a head, and they'll have like scrap parts that have just been like kind of put together to make up the thing, and some have people parts or animal parts in the places where they're missing pieces. The one that's missing a head actually has a dead boy helmet with what you can only assume is a dead boy's skull inside.
Gotcha.
On his head. So these things look corrupt and afflicted with dark magic, and there's 7 of them.
Right. Before we get started,
Oh.
no, it's bad. I'm super cool about it. How bad
Yeah, the smaller ones hold less.
Do we know how close are we supposed to be to this town right now?
Very close. You're supposed to get there today.
Okay.
Really, all of the walk is on the road, and you're only supposed to, like, one day through the forest will get you there. You want to start? Since you're the only one here?
You mean we're fighting these things?
I'm just heading them out there just in case. I mean, are you just going to let them walk around?
I was just having a theory as to why, if we're supposed to be there. I guess they haven't heard from this town in a while.
In a month.
I was hoping maybe this is just their guards that patrol the town. Maybe these are friendlies.
You can say,
They
flag them down. Hey guys! Hey! We're just heading to town! So you see this pack of Skelebots, these corrupt Skelebots walking through the forest. They don't seem to have noticed you come up yet. But you aren't the quietest, and they are robotic, so their senses will trigger eventually. What do you want to do? Do you want to try to hide from them? Do you want to try to hail them down, see if they're actually not as evil as they look?
I had this thought that maybe they're like patrols from the town we're heading to, since we're supposed to be there.
I mean, we can...
But something tells me since Dockwall hasn't heard from these people...
And Skelebots are coalition.
Mm-hmm.
So they are generally... they're just generally dispersed into places where there's a heavy enemy presence that are not... There's no negotiation because they can't think. They don't really have a good identification system. So it's like if it doesn't look human and it doesn't look coalition, kill it.
I was going to say, the only thing that might make me think that they were aligned in any way with the magic using community is that they have those extra pieces kind of attached on them, which doesn't seem like a normal appropriation of matter, but I'd rather we look for a few minutes before we really get in there. Because they catch us, they catch us. If they don't, they don't. But if we just run up and they end up being good and we slaughter them, that's no good either. I never even would have thought they were good unless you had said that. So I want to watch them
it's like, I
defensively on this. Like, yeah, I don't think they're good guys. But.
Shani has her vibro sword out, and she seems on edge a little bit more than normal.
I'm on edge too. I don't like Deadboys.
At this point, I think our best bet is to just take them out.
Get a jump on them.
Yeah.
All right. Even with our jump, we still have to roll initiative.
They're not getting cards though. So this is just
okay.
Yeah, this is just you guys going 5 of hearts.
Oh.
Can we continue the flush streak from last week? No.
Oh.
Jack of clubs, 8 of spades. I forgot to show yours.
I was watching though how he puts his card
How he
up
puts your
since
card
we
in?
noticed that last time.
Yeah, we watched the stream and we noticed that you were doing that. You were like putting them into the.
I was putting them in my dice initially, is what I was doing like that, but I figure if I have to roll, you never know.
Shani gets a 5 of diamonds. So she's going dead last.
You're up, Beethoven. Mr. Beethoven.
Yep. You get to take the first action or hold. Grenades are loud.
Yeah.
Much louder than just your normal laser fire. So, like, if there's any more of these, then you'll attract everything in the area.
I was just saying, if I try to run up on one, it'd be obvious to at least the other ones in the area.
Yes.
And be get shot at.
After you get to go, yeah.
Well, let's take aim at, I guess, the nearest one.
One, I mean, you have a rate of fire of 3, so you can hit 3 of them.
Okay.
So, just open fire on them.
Yep.
Alright. So roll your shooting die 3 times.
This is
and
why I was putting
your
them in my
agility.
dice. You can put your card down now, because you've gone. That's why I was putting them in my dice.
Ooh.
A shooting die.
Right. So the D6 is going to replace your agility. And what are the other 3 dice?
8, 7, 3.
So you get to re-roll your 8, and also his replacement dice is a D6, so you get to re-roll that because it shows a 6 as well. So you're going to re-roll your agility and one of your shots.
So yeah, re-roll that. Re-roll the 6.
You add them, yeah. Roll them separately because you get added bonuses for each one.
Yeah.
So now your agility was a total roll of 8.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then you had a 13 total for that shot. So you have a 7, a 3, a 13, and your agility was 8.
7, 3, and 13. So 8 plus 7 is 15, and 8 plus 3 is 11, and 8 plus 13 is 20, whatever. All of those are hits with raises. So you're doing your damage to. I'm assuming you're going to hit 3 different ones with your shots, unless you want to pump multiple rounds into one.
3 different is good, I think.
So just you roll your damage plus a d6 for the raise.
Damage.
It's math, kids, math.
What's your AP on that?
2.
Okay.
So my damage plus a d6 for the raise.
Add it all together.
And then I have plus 2 on that total. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
It's 1. Sorry, it would be 10. So you have 6, and then... Oh, sorry, 6 of 12, 13. You're right, sorry.
13 plus 2 is 15 total?
That's for the first.
And
Sure.
were any of those 6s?
Yeah, one of them is 6.
Yeah,
Reroll it.
reroll it.
Yeah.
You stage damage in rifts.
So then
So it's 20 is the first shot.
20. Okay.
With 2 armor piercing.
4. What was it again?
20. Good shot.
That was a good shot. Okay.
next shot.
Yeah. So it's 5. Just get that. So it would be
18.
It's gonna
Plus
be, well, yeah, that's right. And you're adding your wild die to the
Well, no,
total.
There's not a wild.
Oh, okay,
It's
then
not-
yes. Then,
It's because
It's all added. It's because it's a raise.
it's my
It's a critical
raise.
hit.
so that's 18 then, yeah.
plus
And
the 2 is 20.
So another 20. Okay.
Jesus. Nice. 16, 17.
So 19 with the plus 2.
19.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Damn,
So
2018.
you just like
20, 20, 19.
Yeah,
2019. So you start pumping rounds into these guys, and it's like just you get 3 that are like they're different ranges or different areas, but they're in that kind of like nice cluster zone where you're not going to lose any shots when you go between them, and you just start blasting into them, and you start you hear their armor get punctured, parts breaking off of them. They take it like robots, but after they're getting hit, like there's like red splatter everywhere, almost like blood, and like they're starting to like drip this red fluid off of them. It's a little bit too crimson to be blood, a little bit too bright to be blood, but you hit them and it starts pouring off of them, and they just kind of like turn slowly, and then their eyes, which are kind of a smoldering red Terminator color, just kind of light up when they look over at you. None of them go down, and none of them look like they're staggered or shaken and have to recover.
What?
I don't know what the fuck we're dealing with.
Yeah, right. It's not a good
I
thing.
couldn't have had a much better shot.
Pretty
than what I
much, you
did,
laid
and,
in with your gun as hard as you could.
These things are just like, oh, you've irritated us.
What are you doing, Deyton?
What am I doing?
No, that's
That's what Hal says.
yes.
With the red
Hal.
eye.
What are you
What are you
saying?
doing, Dave? Am I next?
Yep.
Bam. Let's burst. Let's press the attack again with a different type of attack, I guess. So we'll do some burst.
All right.
Some cone.
So you
2d10 mega
move
damage.
forward, and
So 2d10.
you have to hit first.
Yeah.
So roll
Oh,
your
that's
psychic
right, that's
ability. You have to manifest it. Spin the ISP.
We changed
roll
my
your-
sonics. Smarts is 10 now,
Is
so
smarts,
spirits.
yeah.
Okay, so let me fix
So,
that real quick. We went over that last time.
So your D10 plus your D8 for psionics.
Yes.
Still. So roll that, and it's one roll compared to all 3 of them. They're going to get to try to jump out of the way.
Alright, so D10, a D8, and then my wild card, correct?
Oh, are you hitting the same ones he hit? Or are you hitting
I
a
want
group
to press
of
the
3?
attack on the 3. Well, I don't know. I mean, I have my cone is the attack.
Yeah.
So I
you
wanna
can
get in front.
easily get the same 3 he got
Let's
if
do
you
that
step
then.
forward.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Alright, so that's out. So we got 8.
8.
8.
Okay. Do.
8.
8, man. Come on.
I don't think I rolled anything less than double digits.
Alright.
Alright, you hit all 3 of them. They don't even seem to attempt to get out of the way.
Sweet. Now it's 2d10 and mega damage.
I probably need 2. Probably just gonna absorb that
If
shit.
you don't have anything to add that's useful, just keep going.
Think positive, Beethoven.
Alright, so 8, 10, 18 for the first one.
Do you re-roll that 0?
Oh, I do
that
re-roll
10,
a 0.
I mean?
18.
Yes, you do.
Damn, that's a fucking 27 for the first strike.
27. Okay.
27.
Yeah. Oh, it's only one. You do damage to everyone.
Oh, okay, so 27
Because
is
yours
what I
is a
rolled.
cone. He had 3 dependent shots. You have 1 shot that hits 3 independent targets.
So
that's why I think
19 mega damage.
Okay.
It looked like I barfed a volcano out of my hands.
The 3 of them burn down. They don't melt like spectacularly or like slag. You just like see the fire hit them. It kind of goes over them as if it was, you know, like you were just spraying down steel with a normal like hairspray fire, and then like they kind of screech and parts of them snap and pop and melt a little bit, and then they just kind of crumple.
2 things I get from this. 1, scared of these robots because I didn't melt them. 2, obviously being supported by their organics. It looks like. At least 2, right?
There were 7. You took down 3, so there's 4 left.
Well, this is still our preemptive strike too.
This is, and Shani gets to go.
Curiosity, my rounds that I shot, was it like 1 round per? Was it 3
It's
rounds?
3 rounds per.
So
you did 9 shots total.
3 shot bursts. Yeah.
Just want to make sure.
But
Well,
your ammo capacity, what is it? Read it to me again.
60 rounds.
Okay, yeah. So it does go off the 9. So, 3 of them just kind of collapse without a sound. Like they don't do anything. The other 4 turn. And Shani... there's a question. It's like, what does Shani do?
She does not burst. That's what I do.
She is going to pull out her rifle and shoot another 3 of them.
What?
It's like I could have had like better shots that did like jack shit. I'm feeling all good. I'm like, fuck yeah.
I told you to shoot a grenade. I'm a grenade, motherfucker. Although I would have done the same thing you did. We had no idea what kind of powers they were, what was supporting them, what was going to take, what was going to take. Like I said, burning them that hard, that bad, and them not melting is pretty hardcore. Like,
you've not seen that kind of...
Yeah.
That is a resistance to psychics and magic right there, which Skelebots do not have. Mm-hmm. You're normally used to, like, you faced them once before, and you're used to seeing black molten metal puddles when you're done with them.
That's what I was saying. When you told me they just fell over, I was like, well, that's not good.
Telling you, man. Witch. Calling it.
What?
They're way south.
Or it's a Demogorgon.
They're down there in Kansas.
That might be copyrighted. Be careful.
That's D&D. They'll let anyone use their stuff.
That's true. Also, did you notice in the second season? Sorry, spoilers. When they're looking to how to beat it, no. There's the manual they look at for the mind flayers. That original D&D. Yeah, it's the original D&D monster manual. We both have a copy of that. I've had one for years. I didn't know how cool it was until recently.
It's amazing. So she has her Wilkes 447 rifle, her Walmart rifle that she pulls out. Pumps 1 shot, as it's pretty much like a hunting laser rifle, into one.
So not all 3 is.
So not all 3. I forgot it was not a fully automatic. So she fires 1 shot at one of them.
Was she daft? What's that gonna do?
Right. What's it going to do? Indeed. It actually just does nothing. It just
Sweet.
sizzles on it. They turn to you, and like they don't have actuating mouths or anything like that.
Thank God we had the preemptive strike because
they had a king. They don't have mouths or anything like that. So their jaws don't move or anything. But there's all of a sudden just this keening, like, sound that hits the back of your ears almost immediately, like this. It's kind of like a dog whistle, that dog whistle like kind of sound that's emanating from them. It's like you just get this feeling that they're screaming at you, but they're not using their like electronics. They're not using a speaker to do it. It's something else.
They cast
that's doing
tinnitus.
that.
Tinnitus level 4. Maul.
They turn and they start advancing on you. On the next turn.
So do they keep their initiative cards from the last round, or you just discard them?
Yeah, I just discarded that. I just wanted to see, in case you guys did something that would...
No, I was just curious because they had a preemptive strike.
Right.
Like, what the fuck is that?
I just drew one in case you did something that would have given them an attack.
Gotcha.
So,
I'm laughing at your card about to get
3 of spades. Man, you are terrible at initiative.
I literally
Just
cannot do that.
terrible.
Bad luck.
Queen and 9. So Queen of Diamonds over here.
See,
Hey, it's not flushes anymore.
make some
That's
solid
weird.
decisions with your free hand.
Shani or them?
Shani.
Okay. Ace of spades.
What? Good
Damn.
call.
And Ace of clubs. For
Whoa.
them.
Barely.
So, all
So
right.
can you go over the just so everybody
The
knows?
suits again. Suits break ties. Old school poker rules used to actually have a hierarchy of suits, and it's spades, hearts, diamonds, clubs. Clubs are the worst. Spades are the best. So, Ace of spades, best. Ace of clubs, worst. Well, worst of the aces. So.
I don't think the suit of clubs has ever had a song written about it.
Right?
There's like
Ace of
Spades
spades
and playing with the Queen of Hearts. And
Yep.
like, well, maybe there's no diamonds. Maybe I don't know. King of Diamonds.
Neil Diamond.
Yeah. All right, yeah. I guess the Mavericks are King of Clubs. I'm sorry.
She kind of drops her rifle, and she reaches down, and again, she's like in that explorer armor, which is, she keeps really loose. It's just kind of barely on her, and she was wearing the torn up jeans and the loose shirt. But you see her like reach underneath her leg plate on her left like thigh, basically. You feel a little twinge of something go off, and then all of a sudden she looks like a Egyptian armor-clad queen. Like, think of Stargate, the kind of armor that those guys had on. All of a sudden she is clad in armor like that, and has like the Cleopatra like headdress with the mask over it. Like a half mask. So she is now in like this golden and turquoise or golden and blue Egyptian style magic armor. Just coalesces onto her.
She's a
over
dark
top
horse.
of her.
Willing to play with magic.
Yeah. She is a witch.
With a what?
That's what she does. She puts some armor on.
Cool.
You're next.
I am next to shoot you. Yeah, they open up. They open up on you.
So since my fire armor, my fiery aura is at
will.
will, means
You can just
so it's
pop it.
on. Put it on now. Then I didn't think to do it before we got started because I wasn't in combat yet. So now it's on.
Yep. All right.
Now I look like Ghost Rider,
Except for all over.
unless Nicolas Cage.
Imagine this,
Yeah.
but all over.
Gotcha. Is that Green Lantern?
Fantastic Four.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Does a little fire. Imagine this, but all over.
trying to bury that memory.
Sorry.
It's alright. What did the fox say stuck in my head all day?
The 21st century fox deal may not be off the table yet.
Yeah.
They've stopped talks, but
We'll discuss this off camera.
Yeah. I'm
excited to hear that.
I'd love to see Fantastic Four in Marvel's hands.
Gambit 2018.
Oh, don't.
You heard it here first.
Oh, don't.
Don't embarrass yourself.
Stop talking about
All right. They are terrible shots.
Good.
I thought they were robots.
They are robots.
Just poorly built.
Yeah. I mean, they get bonuses because of their other stuff. But. This one is opening fire at you. You can, at any time, hit the deck. Like, you can drop to the ground or try to jump to cover if you want.
I jumped to cover.
All right. This is going to take. It's going to take a roll or an action to recover from that to take your action.
Okay.
As you just whoop and jump to the side, you jump behind a tree. Doing that means 4, 2, 2, and 2 all miss you. That is like the single worst roll I've had yet, I think, in this game.
I like it.
Just roll to give me bonuses sometimes to get a way worse roll.
Right?
Roll my bonuses. Oh, wow. I did the worst roll I've ever rolled.
The second one is firing at Shani. She is not jumping for cover, and she gets hit twice.
Her Egyptian armor absorbs and makes her more powerful. Little known fact. I have no idea.
So was that the attribute to an Egyptian armor you made up right now?
Yes, that was the attributes of an Egyptian armor you just made up, right? But it's also pretty true.
The Dalton Egyptian armor
stuff's
of
magic.
absorption.
Yes.
Alright, Mark.
Hey, shut your dirty mouth. Tug your nuts, eh?
Give your nuts a tug.
I'm going to try my hardest to spread that. I've been saying it all day. Taylor's like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Give your nuts a tug.
They start in, like, she just takes 3 shots, like reflects off, and then kind of like pops her in the side of that flare of her Egyptian armor and like takes her head back for a second. Then she looks back. She looks staggered, but unharmed. One's gonna shoot you. Are you jumping for cover?
None.
Take it.
I'm on fire.
I'm cool like her. 2 hits on you.
Don't.
Fire. What's your armor?
+6 armor.
So +6, and it's on top of your other stuff. What's your total toughness?
11 is my total toughness with my armor on. Sorry.
11 is your total toughness with your armor.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a 5 normal.
Yeah, 5 normal and 6 with my armor on. So.
Cool. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, remember, you took shots from these guys, like this kind of weapon before. Oh,
and these are laser rifles, right?
They are.
Yeah.
But the Skelebot's laser rifles are anti-laser resistant. So after the first one hits you, you'll get your full resistance, but every shot afterwards, you won't get your resistance.
Well, there's only 2 so far, right?
Yeah. But it's for any of them.
But I take
because they share.
So I naturally take half laser damage anyway.
You are going to take natural half laser damage from the first shot. Any of these hit you on. Then every other shot, their weapons adjust, or they start targeting points of you that are weaker,
regardless of my flame armor.
Yeah, regardless of that.
Okay, this is really
this goes through anything that has a laser resistance. Glitter boys, people like you, they are specifically built to overcome that.
Well, it's no good.
I know, right? 7 ain't gonna cut the nothing. And 7 ain't gonna cut to nothing. So yeah, you just get 2 shots into you doing nothing. The lasers literally burn up in your flame.
Gotcha.
You feel nothing.
Mm-hmm.
We know that. You should take your medication. All right, Deyton.
I feel like after these last 2 rounds of combat, I would be really needing some meds. Get your card ready.
I am gonna hold my action.
All right.
Cough up your cards.
He's holding, so.
Oh, you're holding your action.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
He is holding those cards.
Is it
so
me next?
you're up. Yep.
All
I'm
right,
letting
cool.
you go first.
All right, let's give it another good burst. Can I hit more than one? Or are they still grouped up enough?
Let's see. They have, actually just started walking towards you, all clustered together, firing like idiots. They're not moving like normal Skelebots.
Perfect.
You can hit all of them.
Let's do
4 of them.
So we'll do that again. It's a D10 and a D8. And a D6 here. Alright. Burst! That's what I do. Very well. Yes. So a 17 for the strike.
17 hits. Not like they have a D4 agility. I don't think any of them are going to get out of that way. So. Nope. Oh, hold on. Nope.
Perfect. So another 2d10 and 6 for my damage. 8. So we got a 13 for the damage. Mega damage. Wait, do I add my wild card to that? No.
No.
Okay, so it's 13 for the damage.
So 13. If you want in riffs, you can spend a penny to reroll damage. Just want to.
Is that not high enough to do any?
That will. What's armor piercing on it?
It's mega damage. I don't know what the armor piercing is on.
I think it might be 0 unless you spend.
It doesn't say anything about armor piercing, so
yeah.
Can I spend to make it armor piercing?
No, you could have used the mega version of the power, which would have upped the damage, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that's
okay.
You can spend the penny to reroll it to try to get higher, but that's it.
That's a pretty high roll for me, so I'm not going to reroll.
Again, you're not seeing them react, so you're not really sure if you're doing anything to them.
Okay. Jesus.
You see fizzles and pops and things melting, and those veins start pulsing.
Yeah, that's super bad. I just mega damage struck 4 robots, and they were like,
Whatevs. Whatevs.
So I'm going to use my action to run?
Fuck this, I'm out.
Fucking action to give your nuts a tug.
Hey, Beethoven, give your nuts a tug.
No, let's throw a grenade. Are they close
I'm
enough?
assuming you're not going to throw it. You're actually going to shoot it out of your grenade launcher.
Cough up your cards.
Yes.
Yes.
They
are clustered together. You can hit them all with a high explosive if you wanted.
Like a small blast.
Yes.
Could hit them. Like my armor piercing grenade.
Yep.
Okay.
That sounds like a good plan.
That sounds like a good plan. So
Big
this is still shooting, correct?
It is still off your shooting.
Okay. Shooting.
I have wet erase marker all over my fingers. It tastes great.
This is only
Does it
one
taste like blueberry?
shot. Wow.
It tastes like dead brain cells. Oh, man. So that's okay, buddy.
Hey,
that's okay.
that's perfectly okay because I get to re-roll that again.
Is
So
that a
I'm at,
D10? It's a D10.
is it?
Yep.
Fuck. never
So
mind.
you got 11.
11.
That's
It's
still
okay.
a hit with a ring.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Thought it was one of my 8s. It's my bad.
Sorry,
So,
the ley
what's
line's
your-
messing with your
What's
happening?
Would you roll an 8 and think you thought you hit the max?
Yeah, I did.
What's your
But I
damage on those armor piercing?
Damage. It's got to be 3d8 mega damage. Armor
Piercing 8. Ooh. All right.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's what you said to their armor.
3d8 plus your wild card.
No, 3d8 plus is critical.
Oh.
You don't get wild card on damage, even if it includes your strength, like a melee weapon.
Shit.
Because those aren't trait rolls technically.
No, this is just one damage roll, correct?
Yes, one damage roll for the entire thing.
Alright. Nice. You get to reroll that one and that one. So wait, hang on real quick. So the highest ones, but your critical counts as a regular one, right? Wiley, his critical rolls includes
everything stages.
So 10. Hang on.
Everything, all dice always stays.
Perfect.
Unless
24,
it's a
That's
sharp
24 to start, and you have to reroll 2 of the dice. This is insanity. This is 27 total.
27?
27
Including
damage.
me? So you launch that, it erupts into its usual shred of fire and shrapnel. You see some parts. You see a couple parts come whizzing out, like just from the compression. Those things, like just pieces of Skelebot embed into trees. And when the smoke finally clears and dust settles, you see like the 4 mangled remains of those that were still in there, and they're fairly whole. And like you're starting to see like down to the armor and everything that there's these like almost like system of these red veins or vines or whatever the hell they are that are like keeping these things intact and together, and like all the armor and stuff has been shredded off around them, and they're bleeding this red liquid out. And all 7 of them are now gone, but that piercing, keening noise in the back of your head, that fingers on chalkboard sound, is getting louder. And you're starting to realize that it's not coming from them. Make me notice checks.
Without my keen sense.
Out your keen senses. Actually, you are going to get your keen senses in this because it's not just supernatural.
So remind me one more time. I get my smarts plus my notice and then my wild card.
And then your wild card. And your wild card can replace 1 of those other dice.
10 for me.
Well,
I am getting my keen sense on this
you
one.
are.
So 10, 12.
You got a 10, 12, 12. You guys are like looking around, like where is this coming from? And through the trees, you see these 2 red orbs like moving in a very, very creepy, erratic fashion, like up and through and over trees. And you hear a tree get moved out of the way, and then you're like hearing this, and through the trees, a ways out, they're about 60 to still 80 meters out. It is out. You're seeing a spider skull walker, which is a very large transport vehicle on 4 spindly legs like a spider with a huge skull head.
Being held together by organic bullshit that was so hard to beat.
Yeah, it's this coming at you, covered in those red vines, making that noise, just beelining it for where you guys are. Those are vehicle-grade weapons. If any of them get a shot near you, you are just debris almost. Like, and it's just pushing through trees, climbing up on trees and over stuff, and coming right at you.
Basically, its speed is not hindered by the forest whatsoever.
Not at all.
Yeah, okay.
Well, that's been a fun game of Rifts, guys. We're all going to die right now, so...
We'll see you next week when we'll pick up Shadowrun.
What do you guys do?
I mean, do you want to take it on, or do you want to try to escape, or do you want to... What
Do you want to take it on?
Hey, give your nuts a tug, man. I've got some shit going on right now.
He can't reach his nuts right now. His tail's in the way. It's right up between them legs.
I do have some rope. I'm pretty
Throw
sure
the rope at it.
I'm pretty sure it's combined.
God, you already figured out its weakness. Man, you ruined my campaign.
I don't even like it.
We're gonna take
Throw
it down.
the rope.
We're gonna take it down like they took down the AT-ATs. We're just gonna run the rope
I
around
throw
its
my charmed
legs.
rope.
I can
Spend all my
obscure
luck
the area
points.
if you want to try to back away.
You can't obscure
I can't obscure area.
Obscure. Yeah, are you staying or are you going?
I mean, what are you thinking?
Let's make a run
I'm
for
thinking
it.
we get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be.
It
Cool,
was
so.
pain in the ass to take down just those Skelebots or whatever. This thing is gonna be a lot
I
more
call
tougher.
them zombie bots. By the way, this was the Halloween episode. Since we're a week late.
Oh, boo! That would have been so much better. Sorry, I blew it.
It's all right. We had fun. So, yeah, this is the Halloween episode in the Forest of Terrors called Day of the Deadboys.
That would have worked on Sunday too.
Zombie bots. Okay, so you're running. Is anyone grabbing Shani?
Was she incapacitated?
No, she just looks. She's looking at the thing and looking kind of. She's having a. Maybe I should fight it. Maybe I should stay and fight it. Maybe I shouldn't.
I feel the same way, but I'm deferring to him. If he's scared of tech, then we're moving on. So I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll grab her hand. Let's run.
It's a possessed tank.
Doesn't mean anything. I killed like 15 people last time with like barely batting an eye. I'm feeling hot to trot right now.
Except for these things, like you couldn't.
I got
kill
3
it.
of them.
After he weakened him, he did all the damage.
Tell me that. Yeah, well, I grabbed Shani's hand. We're the fuck out of here.
And you,
Shani, let's go!
And start running.
It sounds like.
Okay, you guys start running through the woods, and this thing crashing,
let the dogs out,
crashing and coming through the woods. And as like you're just panting and running, getting the hell out of there, you hear it crash up to where the battle was, and you can it starts that screech. Starts to turn into like questioning wails as it's trying to find what did this. Just behind you there's this horrible sounds of this monster vehicle looking around for you, and then Shani stops you and throws you into bushes and gets down herself in them. And through the woods, you can barely see it moving around up there as it's like that, and kind of looks up, and its red eyes are looking around into the night. You can almost see them casting their.
How far did we make
glow.
it?
Oh, you're 40, 50 meters away now,
Okay.
hiding in some bushes behind a little ridge line, and it's you can see the red casting out they're headlights through fog. And looking, and then it kind of goes back, and you see it start scuttling up all of the body parts of the Skelebots, and it brings them underneath it, and it starts to spin, spit out more of that red vine or veins onto it, and then almost it's opening its mouth, which is impossible because it's not a real mouth. It spits up debris. Body parts, spare parts from vehicles or other things, and then all of those red vines and veins reach out, snap onto them, and start putting the Skelebots back together.
Let's go re-engage. Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here.
So you turn and get the hell out of there as this thing reconstitutes its zombie bots. Where are you going?
Well, are we still heading kind of westward?
You're still heading on, you ran in a way, so you had been moving kind of north. You saw the mountain line, on the ley line on it, and the Skelebots were up there. The way you ran and the way it came from, you ran just straight west. You could go north, west-ish, and you'd think you'd be getting towards the town still. Or you can go south and get the hell out of these woods.
I mean, I want to retreat, but I think we should still keep trying to head for our destination. What do you think?
Which is what
do you just want to run and then regroup?
The town that we were right next to, that destination?
No, we were leaving and heading towards a different town.
Yeah, you're heading towards Castle Hill.
We hadn't heard from them in a while. But it appears like a ley line has opened up nearby and these things have walked out. I'd still like to check on the town. But if we travel through the forest, we're going to be going a little bit slower. Through the forest, not the town. Sorry.
Yeah. You have not gotten to the town. You were heading to Castle Hill.
That's what I was asking. So if we were still heading west.
You have ran towards You are now closer than you were before.
So we can head northwest and head towards the town, or we can head south and just say fuck it and get the hell
out
out
of
of
the
here.
woods.
I feel a sense of obligation to the town now that I've seen what's happened. But I will defer to your judgment there.
Yeah. Shani seems pretty... She seems angry about what's going on.
Yeah. Can I call you Beats?
So...
Beats by Beethoven?
So where we were still how far away from the actual, like, Castle Hill town?
We can see
a couple hours.
Distance.
No, you can't.
I thought we could.
You could see the castle up. Like you couldn't see. You saw the ley line, and you knew that hits the castle.
Mm-hmm.
The town is below the castle in the forest, or in a clearing below the forest. The castle is up in the mountain or the hill. But you're like an hour, maybe 2.
I still think it's our best bet. At the very least, we can barricade ourselves and throw the people in. I'm just kidding. If we head south, we're still going to have to. We won't be any closer to any towns. We won't be able to fulfill our obligation to that town in general, and we'll also have to regroup and head back north at some point anyway.
Yeah, you're not going to have to head north, and there's like Tikik up there. But
yeah,
if you want, you can just head south, get back on the main road, and keep going west, and say, "Well, sorry, Castle Hill, that's a tragedy." Or you can go investigate and try to see if there's any survivors or what happened here.
But there is a way to go around this fucking monstrosity.
Yeah, you've actually
to get to
like
Castle Hill.
It came from kind of the direction you were wanting to go, but you ran this way, kind of underneath it, so you can kind of get around it.
And that's fine. We can do that.
All right.
I was worried that to get to Castle Hill, we have to go through this thing.
no, that's what I was saying. Our options are to retreat south immediately and loop around, or continue on through the forest now that we've escaped.
So you're walking through the forest. I'm assuming that you're on lookout and on edge. You're not just running.
Yeah.
You're because who knows how many more of those things are out here. So everyone make me notice checks.
I am not affected by any ley line.
You're not getting the +2 on this one.
Not getting the plus 2.
Your senses are.
Hey.
It's not so much the ley line. It's just this
Hey.
oppression of this entire woods.
17
going on.
for my notice. I noticed the shit out of it.
I got a 6.
10,
Give your
12.
nuts a tug.
12. You had a what?
17.
Okay, so you're navigating through these woods, and you're extra on edge, and you're like, whoop, and you see a pack of zombie bots meandering through the woods, like 9, 10 strong, just murring around. So you change course, and you go another way. You see a pack of 5 up there, murring and walking around, and you know that, yeah, there may be only 5, there may be only whatever, and you think you can take them out, but if you attack any of them,
We draw the
they
attention
call
of
that
all of them, yeah.
that skeleton, the spider skullwalker. So you make your way avoiding these packs, and it's just like as you're getting closer and closer to the town, there's more and more of these packs of these zombie bots, and there's a lot of them are missing more and more parts that have been reconstituted by other things. There's almost whole people inside these around these Skelebots. As you get to the edge of the town and get to the tree line break, and you see this, it's a small kind of podunk town. Several buildings, signs of damage everywhere. The first building you see, it looks like it's been cut through with a turret or a rail gun or something. It just almost looks sawed in half by what is gunfire, obviously, and blown out the side of it. This old kind of farmhouse-looking style house. There's some explosion impacts. This place looks like it was a war zone. And you see, past all the buildings and everything that you're looking at, some wandering figures walking slowly, which obviously are these zombie bots. And that's when your radio crackles. Sounds like something maybe on a nearby channel is bleeding through.
Ignore it.
Let a tea at a time. Ignore it.
Only green bottles.
Tonight's game brought to you by beer. Yeah.
Great shot.
That was like the nice over the back shoulder, shot. Not gonna open it for me?
It's someone else's turn to make a mess.
All right.
There was no jiggle to that. That cannot be blamed on me.
Like how you open yours and you're like, everyone else deal with their own. All right.
Just get ready to put it in your mouth. Perfect shot.
So, you're Crackle. You see this town in ruins, and Skelebots somewhere on the far side of town. Like, it doesn't look like there's anything on your side. It looks like you could probably move up and get a better look at what's going on inside the town. But you do know that you're going to have to be avoiding detection in here.
So we can tell the town looks like it's overrun as well. It's not just like the surrounding area. Like from what we can't tell.
And there's like those red vines and all that stuff, the veins or whatever they are kind of a little bit everywhere, growing up out of buildings and over stuff. And
part of me wants to investigate so I can at least tell them what happened to their friends. Part of me does not want to get involved.
And you can also,
Why don't you
adjust your. Try to find the right way.
Yes, let's do that. Clickety,
Yeah.
clickety, clack, click.
Hey, anyone
The tip of the
there?
tongue lips and the teeth. The
Anyone
tip
at
of the tongue
all?
lips and the teeth.
Is anyone there?
Well, hey, is that someone?
Yeah.
Hey, give me that. Give me that. Another person.
Yeah.
Who's this? Who's this?
Who is?
Is someone out there? Someone alive?
Who you be, Beats?
Yes, this is Sean.
Holy crap. Are you alright? Wait, give me that bag. Hey, are you one of those zombies?
No.
Of course you're not. You would be. Give me that back.
You're Sean at the living.
Oh. Hey, where are you?
More importantly, where are you?
We're not telling you that. You might lead him right to us.
Well, fine. I am in the woods, right outside of this town.
Hey, just get out of the woods. Get out. Drew them back.
Tell us where you go, then.
John, drew that. You're in the woods, and you got through the zombies?
Well, we've encountered them and lived to fight another day, you could say.
Your balls got big all of a sudden. Yeah, man, we've been all about that shit. We've been killing zombies like nothing.
They ain't nothing. You two should give your balls a tug, eh?
Yeah.
So, yes.
We might be able to help you, but I need to know where you're at.
We? How many are there?
There's three of us.
Alright, look. We're not going to tell you where we are, because those things will just come after us. There was a dozen coalition soldiers in here. None of them made it out.
What thing is in there?
Tell them we've been in a situation where a dozen coalition soldiers haven't made it out.
Look. Hey, the castle up on the hill, that's the problem. You guys going to look over, and you can see from the town up to the hill And there's a castle. And like you're just basically seeing the outer wall, like you see the pathway going up to it, and the outer wall, the front gate is gone, and it's just this big pulsing mass of those veins, red veins there, in this like kind of spider web pattern. And there's a red glow coming from back there, and you can see the ley line going through the castle. And so it looks like that red glow is right on where the castle meets the ley line, possibly a nexus point or something.
We should just tell them we saw some apples on a tree about a click back that they can eat if they get hungry, and we should just move.
I don't want to go up to that castle.
I think we need a little more information. You're going to need to haggle with these guys a little bit. Try to persuade them that we're the good guys.
Do you have any persuasion?
You have a little bit, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
Make me a roll. No outsider because they don't know what you look like.
Hey.
Hey.
Perfect.
Who let the dogs in?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Just those.
It works best if you eat your mouth around it.
Just those dang green ones with the white on them. Hey.
It's 10 is 14.
15.
15. Sorry.
What?
He rolled and then he grabbed his bonus and rolled it again, and then as soon as it hit, he like looked at me because he didn't actually count it before he rolled it.
No, I didn't. I thought you were laughing at the
beer.
sucking up of the beer.
All right. So what'd you get? 15.
Mm-hmm.
So you started talking to him, persuading him. You're like, look. All we know is that those Skelebots came rolling in this place, taking it out, and then that ley line walker did something up in the castle, and all hell broke loose. That's when all these things turned on everyone and started murdering everything, and they won't die.
Damn
But-
magic users.
Huh?
I just said damn magic users.
Yeah, I know, right? But hey, we know something that might help you out if you're trying to take this thing out, because there ain't no getting out of here otherwise.
Stop wasting our time and tell us.
Don't be rude.
On the west side of the town, in the south, there's an APC. It's all trashed and banged up, but there's probably still some ordnance left in it.
Sounds like our only move. It's either go in there and get the ABC ordnance and try to blow that shit up, or move along. But I feel like we shouldn't just move along.
Oh yeah, and just in case you think you're going to leave this place, you can't. This place is displaced. Can't leave the woods once you walk in them.
That's your fault. I'm blaming that on you.
We listened to some of those coalition soldiers. They tried to run for days, could never find their way out of the forest.
So where's this APC at?
The west side of town.
Yeah, west side of town. Just outside the south. You'll see the wreckage all around it as it tried to shoot its way out.
And we are where?
You're on the east side of town.
Cool.
So,
Yeah, we have to.
I have a map.
Hey.
So the castle's up here.
Are those
Alright.
green things trees?
Those are the green, these are the trees. You're over here, like right at the tree line, looking at these buildings that are torn up.
Mm-hmm.
There's something in this square here you can't see, but somewhere over here there's things walking around. This is where the thing is in red. So he's saying somewhere over here is where that APC is.
Did you make that map?
I did.
That's good. Got a little liberal with the trees.
I know. Like, we're very easy to put down. It is a forest.
All right.
So You can try to skirt back into the forest where you know there's more zombies, or take your luck trying to go through the town and maybe see what else is there. Like, these guys might not be the only survivors. There might be something else you can use. Who knows?
I was going to say, I think even if we don't make it to the APC, there'll be more cover in the town than there will be.
I feel like we should try to get through these buildings, if anything.
Okay.
Are they connected, or are they all separate?
No, they're all separate, like little...
Well, yeah, but we can make our way through one, maybe
and then
go on the other
hop
side.
out, watch and hop out.
At least we'd be
So,
under cover rather
who
than
has
out
the
in the
best
open.
stealth?
Shani?
Yeah, right. It's not us. Yeah.
Mine's not terrible, actually.
Mine's a 4, so it's not mean. I smell like sulfur all the time.
Mine's a D6.
Stealth is a D8. Alright, so everyone make me stealth checks. Yours is a D6, you said?
Mm-hmm.
You're mainly trying to help Shani out.
Okay.
As she gets you through these buildings.
It's like we did this last time, I forget how it
You were
went, though.
going around the Deadboys. You were trying to sneak up on the patrol.
You got a 10.
10? Alright. You're just looking for 4. If you succeed, you get her a +2. So, if you get a raise, which you did, you give her a +4.
Yeah.
What is that, 15?
It's, well, it's 12. You got 12 on the dice so far with that. It's 15, yeah, so roll it.
20?
5? Yeah, 20. Fucking, that's a success for
total.
sure.
Hey!
Her roll is 8, 8, 6 on an 8, 8, and 6. And then 4, 4, 4. So 8, 16, 20,
22
24.
plus 16 is
24.
32.
8, 16, 24. It was 3 8s.
Oh, then 3, 4. Sorry, 12.
Yeah,
Yeah.
8, 16, 24, and then plus your 4 and plus your 4 is another 8, so 32. You guys are ghosts up in this zombie village. You start making your way through, and yeah, it looks like hellhole, dead bodies that have been taken apart, debris everywhere. It looks like from this side, a conventional battle happened. So something like the coalition rolled up in here and were shooting things up. And then later on, when you're coming out the other side, it looks like the zombie battle started taking place. But the most interesting thing about this place, as you get up into these buildings, is in the center square of the town is a goddamn trebuchet. A real full-size siege engine catapult trebuchet. You know, like...
Who the hell is using a trebuchet?
Right? And around it are stone blocks set like a barricade, almost like, you know, a fountain or a parapet around it. But you quickly realize, looking at it, from where the sling is of the trebuchet, it's in accordance to that barricade. So wherever that thing is just resting, you can strap it to a block that's a part of that barricade and launch it.
Which way is it facing?
It is facing out, like towards where you guys came in from town. You don't know if it's movable or what the hell, how it even operates. You'd have to go up and look at it, which is kind of in the open in town square, right here in the middle.
What are you thinking?
I think a trebuchet is punked by an APC.
The APC doesn't work,
Oh.
but there could be explosives
So
in it.
we can get the ordnance from the APC and then load it in the trebuchet and launch it at the castle.
But we have to get the trebuchet, one, to be facing the castle. Hopefully it's going to reach the castle.
Well, if it can launch a block that size of any kind, I'm pretty sure the ordnance will be nothing for it. It will definitely launch the ordnance. Or we just give you a practice run and you set it in.
So
I vote for the ordnance. We don't have to
we
do
got to
that.
get the ordnance first and then make our way back to figure out the trebuchet part. Yeah.
All right. You make your way through the rest of the town easily enough until you get to the point on the opposite side where you see the battle that was going out. This, instead of villagers and defenders of various races and armor types, over here there's just coalition soldiers, body armor pieces, kind of everywhere. Definite signs of coalition firepower going off. The buildings around here you can see have been trashed by heavy weapons fire, probably from the Spider Skull Walker and the APC. You make your way up to the tree line, and the tree line just ends. And there's just trees that have been sawed in half or blown to splinters, coating everywhere in this nice big open area, and the dead APC with the front of it completely blown off. The turret is gone, everything is just in this crater, and everything around it has been just sawed in half. The trees are gone, debris everywhere, explosions. Like, this was their last stand of the coalition trying to leave after their Skelebots got possessed. So there's a 40 yards between you and the APC. Oh, and there's Skelebots all over it, just milling about, just sitting there. A lot of them have extra Deadboy armor and pieces on them.
Run out and create a distraction. I'll get the ordnance.
Oh, hey, you should go tell them that you got separated from the pack.
Yeah. guys.
Maybe that'll work.
We'll paint you red first.
Oh god, my vines fell off.
But the back of the APC is sticking up in the air, and the door has been blown off. So access to it is pretty easy. You just don't know if there's anything worthwhile in there. And those two guys could have been, they don't know what's left in this thing. Could have been picked clean.
Not to mention it's in the open though. Like I'll sneak and get in there. Whatever we do, the trebuchet is going to set off all the alarms anyway. Something comes flying out of the center square towards the castle. Everyone's going to know we're here.
Yes. But attacking the APC with the Skelebots is definitely going to bring more zombie bots and possibly that Skullwalker.
Are we hidden where we are now?
Uh-huh.
Maybe we send Shani for the ordnance. She can sneak better than we can.
Huh.
It's like sacrifice.
Do it.
She's just an NPC.
It's like, I can probably sneak up there, but I'm not going to be able to grab a box of explosive and get it out without alerting some people.
Like I can obscure the area to get you in and out, but that'll cause an alert. Well, no, it sounds silly, but we can get out in and out, but it'll raise an alarm as well.
Well, if you can just distract or get them to move away after I get in there, that would work.
So, this is gonna sound shitty.
This is gonna sound shitty.
What if I obscure an area nearby so that there's this big cloud of smoke and stuff like that, and we throw something into it or run into it?
I mean, you don't know what their senses are. They may only react to living things, but they may react to something like that to go investigate. Just putting the obscuring mist somewhere may activate them to go.
That's what I'm saying. So if it doesn't obscure immediately, then we're gonna have to throw something into it or go into it.
You can launch a grenade like somewhere into the forest, as long as you sufficiently time it so that there's more noise, wind, or whatever from your launch point than where it's going to hit.
Let's do the obscure area just off to the side of it, enough to make everybody turn around and kind of head towards it and see what's going on.
At least attempt to do that.
So she goes,
Or at least attempt to do that.
she goes, well, wait until I give you the signal. She tunes in her radio to yours. And then when I'm ready to grab the stuff, then we can do that and I'll make my move. She goes like this, and leans forward, And when she pulls her hands out, hawk wings sprout from her back. Big brown hawk wings. And she goes and flies up in the air.
The fuck is this bitch?
Techno wizard.
Think so?
More creative than mine was, yeah. I could have literally built anything. My Techno wizard. I made like rocket belts.
But you had to build it though. You couldn't just go.
I wasn't a DB.
That's true.
Alright.
So you see her fly up. She flies out into the sky in the darkness and the red clouds. Then she kind of comes over the APC and comes down, just kind of floaty, hovering there with her wings. And then she clicks her mic to tell you that, go ahead.
Obscure area.
Just cast it. I mean, as long as you get it off.
He's been waiting to do this for a while.
Like I feel like that's your spell that you have to get off every session.
Right.
Like
We're at the very end of a session.
Yeah,
he's
obscure mist.
He's like, obscure. Damn it.
8, 6. The cast is at a 9.
One of the Skelebots looks over there, and then it and like 3 others, just like random Skelebots in the crowd, just start walking towards it. It didn't seem like he mentioned or motioned or did anything. One saw it, and then 3 started walking over to it. But there's still like 6 more hanging around the thing that seem to be ignoring the mist.
Granada.
And they walk over and they walk right into the mist.
What if I threw a grenade into the mist?
It would probably have the same effect as if you didn't throw it into the mist.
You wouldn't have the noise to begin with, but it'd be a harder target number to get that range.
It would be loud and everything, but once the obscure areas go, I mean, it goes on for.
But right now he can get 3 of them, which is nice.
Well, I was thinking like possibly getting them and also drawing the other ones that direction.
Right. And if it's an explosion, there's
Makes sense,
dead ones, then you're probably going to get that attention. So, but you want to try to throw it? You're going to need an 8 if you throw it, versus a 4 if you launch it.
Well, if I launch it though, is it?
They have a chance to notice the origin point. It's not a good chance, but it's still a chance.
Shoot it.
All right, I'll shoot it.
Okay. Boonk.
I'm guessing I'm going my AP grenade again since.
Well, we know it works.
How many do
already.
you? I'd use your least expensive, most quantity. Like
Right.
this is just kind of a throwaway thing. You need your real damaging stuff for later on.
All right, then we'll shoot a frag, which actually has a large blast, so it'll be even more distracting, I guess.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Fire.
What the fuck does that mean?
So every time you shuffle it, I'm like, no.
No.
God damn it. Okay.
Okay.
There's a guy over here. That is an 8, right? Okay. Like, damn it.
So you're 14.
Yeah, you got it. Plus 36.
16.
Go ahead and roll damage. I want to see if you can kill these.
Go ahead and roll damage, he says.
With the extra d6.
With an extra d6?
Correct.
Dope. So that's... All of it counts, right?
Yes, all of it's added together.
So 12, 15... Plus 8 more.
24.
23.
33.
AP2.
This doesn't have any AP apparently.
Okay.
Do the math.
All right. You launch the grenade, And you're like boonk, and you look over at the rest of them to see if they heard it. No one moves. Then it sails into the obscuring mist. You see bits and pieces of Skelebot fly everywhere. You actually killed all 3 of them. You land right at their feet. Legs and parts go up. The others all...
The obscure area is good to go.
They all look over there. And you hear the sound as they've called the spider, and they start heading into the mist. And she goes... And you kind of hear the sound of like chain breaking. And then she flies back out carrying this huge crate. And flies back over to you guys. And sets down this box which has, danger, explosive written all over it. So you've seen these. They are rations. This is ordnance crate. Like this is
right up my alley.
Yeah, this is explosive. Raw brick explosive with detonators. Just a huge metal box set down right in front of you. Like you're like, ooh, I never thought I'd see one of these again.
They won't get it.
She lands, her wings disappear. You notice that she has her shoulder part off, and her tattoo has changed. That tattoo, which was the chain that had the padlock on it, the padlock is shattered, and all the chain links have been stretched out and are breaking.
I don't think she's a techno wizard.
Probably not. Just describing the skills the best of my ability. Let's take that ordinance back to the trebuchet.
Oh, just walking right up to the trebuchet?
No, to head in the direction.
Okay. Like, we might have some shit.
We arrive at the trebuchet. I just demanded. We are where we say we are.
So you want to try to just leave this area and go?
Well, with the ordinance.
Yeah.
But yes.
She just takes that box, just puts it over her shoulder like it was styrofoam.
They're calling the spider to the area. They're in the cloud. You destroyed enough. And that cloud will go for 30 minutes. So
she starts walking back. She's like, I can't really guide you guys while I'm lugging this thing. So, good luck.
Why is she carrying it?
Because she can
carry it.
Why can't I?
It would take both of you to carry it to pick it up.
Okay.
It's not so much that it's heavy. Like, you have a D10 strength, right?
No, a D8.
Oh, D8. Like, you could probably, deadlift it over your back and hold it there, and you'd be waddling along carrying it. Or the 2 of you could carry it. It's really unwieldy. I mean, it's a big, long crate.
That's fine. We'll let her carry it.
But right now, she has whatever effect she has going on.
We'll let the woman carry it. It's all good.
No, does it emasculate you? Give your balls a tug. So everyone's going to have to roll stealths independently.
Ooh, independently. We're not helping her no mo.
And yeah, she has a minus because she's carrying this big ass thing around.
Perfect.
So
just what we wanted.
7.
Did you roll your wild with that?
Oh wait, no, I didn't. I did not.
Agility, stealth.
So I just need it. Sorry, so it was
just roll it separately to see if it.
So
still 7. That's what I'm talking about.
A boot.
It's what, a 12?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you're making your way back, and you get into the first building, and you're going from the first building to the second building. You look around. You jump over. You start going, and she gets the crate caught on the wall, so it just swings around and messes her up, and she kind of stumbles. And you're you turn around to see hey, quiet, and you touch a fence, and the fence just falls over onto some debris, and it's
Who touched this fence? Just for the record.
Who got the lowest? Yeah, so it was you.
I was like,
yeah, you looked back at her distracting you, and you touched this big this wooden fence, and the fence fell down and was made of sand.
My fire sets off discarded fireworks.
Yeah, you look up and you see 6 zombie bots, like they were over, tucked around the side, just turn over and look at you. You hear the sound in the back of your head. Yeah, let's go ahead and just do this. Oh, man. What is wrong with you? A two of diamonds.
It's nothing to do with me. You're the one dealing the cards. Why is it my fault?
If next time I'll deal you last, and it'll still
right.
be you. King and Jack.
Hey.
Clubs and hearts. It matters. Shani gets the Joker. +2 in all rolls. Also, after this round, we're going to reshuffle the deck. So, and okay. 8 or King. Yeah.
Oh, that's me. So how many are there?
What did I say? 6.
Six.
And they're just coming at us. Like
They're just coming at us.
They know we're here. They're just...
Yeah. You are behind little cover. I mean, the house and part of it, but yeah, not much.
This is AIDS right now, I'm just saying. If I use a grenade, I mean, everything's coming this way.
You know, if you wound these things, it's going to come anyway. But at least you might have a chance to get away while it heals them.
Is that all it's going to come do is come over and heal them?
Shani's like, why don't we kill these things and plant the explosives in the middle of them?
It sounds like a good plan, but it seems short term. Because everything's wrong with that castle. If we killed the spider walker, we don't have to worry about it anymore. But the town's not fixed or any better, and we're out of ordnance.
Well,
You're the military.
we don't have to use all the ordnance to kill it. I don't think.
I burned him pretty fucking good a couple times and didn't kill him.
And that was just the Skelebots, not the Spider Skullwalker itself. But that's neither here nor there. She just plants that seed now. You need to actually fight these things before you decide what you're going to do with their bodies. You have to survive fighting them.
6 are on close radius. They're spread apart.
What do you want to use? A large blast or a small blast?
That's what I'm trying to decide.
Yeah, that's what I need to do. Well, we'll see. You can get 4 or all of them. So 4 with a small blast or all of them with a large blast.
You should do that. That's a pretty good... Well,
if you got a really good roll like you did in the Mist, you could take them all out in one shot. If you got a really good roll.
Let's go for it.
Go for it. You're doing large blast then?
Yes. What if I got to lose? Just my life.
Just your life.
Stop re-rolling shit over there. I'm tired of hearing that noise. Unless you're rolling for every single one, then that's okay.
So he's like, there were 2 characters. They got 19 raises.
I'm going to write down a level of damage and hand it to you, and you decide how much your character takes.
So this is just the shot itself.
This is the shot to hit.
So that's already 15.
That's 10.
18.
You didn't add all 3, did you?
That's
No.
2 4s, isn't it?
10 and a 5, and then 10 and a 18.
Yeah.
That hits.
Damage. Moment of truth.
The moment of truth. Remember Benny's reroll damage in Rifts.
Did I get any raise, like a critical?
Yes, you did. Mm-hmm.
So add another
Another
extra.
D6.
Okay. That's what helped out last time. That's what I need to know. Like Mark Anthony.
Wow. Mark Anthony reference, huh?
9.
You know
Oh,
a
sorry.
day. Sometimes I
11.
feel like a plastic bag.
Oh, it's at 12.
11. Oh, you got it all the same as just right. Yeah, 12.
This guy's gonna teach math. I hope you know.
What did you get?
He's not going to do it at like 10 o'clock at night after a couple of beers, though. He's going to do it sober in the AM.
No. He's going to do it at 8 in the morning after 2 beers.
Right now it's only 12.
Yeah, that's not going to scratch him.
Reroll.
Good luck.
This is to reroll everything.
This rerolls everything, and you can only do it once.
All right. Off to a good start.
Much better.
We're already, because I get to reroll my 6s, so that's
Uh-huh.
12 plus 6, that's 18. Right?
So, what did you have there? You had 2 6s there? Yeah, 6 is
six.
18. Yes, absolutely.
Ooh.
So now we're at 24, 29. You 3 roll your 6.
29.
30.
30.
All right. You launch the grenade right into the centermost one. It hits it square in the chest, and the detonation explodes out from there. You're used to this crimson sprays and bits and pieces of Skelebot everywhere, and then as everything's cleared and it seems like nothing has remained standing and everything is just pieces on the ground, one comes through the smoke and keeps walking at you. Let's see. Shani is going to go.
I mean, that's so pretty legit.
That is pretty legit.
I took out 5. I thought 30 might get all 6.
She reaches over underneath this arm pad over here, and you see a glow occur from that area. I don't know if you remember the tattoo she had there. It's the archer in the field of arrows and bodies. She goes like this, and she pulls out like that, and makes her hand, and all of a sudden she's holding a jade bow, and there's all these bolts in it, kind of like the old D&D cartoon. There's like 3 bolts sitting in it, and she just launches it at the thing. I get a D8 from you. Okay, I need another one. 2D8.
This is for Shani?
Yep.
Okay.
And a D6. She hit twice. No, she hit 3 times.
There you go. I'll see if she's just glancing and blows them again.
Bang bang.
Bang, bang.
Kapwing, kapwing.
So one bolt hits it in the chest, and the other bolt hits it in the head, which kind of snaps it off its body. But the veins keep the head nearby, and it swings down and slams on its own hip from its head, and it kind of keeps staggering forward. It lowers its arm, which doesn't have the vibroblade attachment like they normally do. This one had a grenade launcher attached to his arm, and it lowered its arm and just boom, and launches a grenade into itself and detonates itself backwards into the rest of the bodies of the Skelebots. Joker's rule.
What's on the actual face of the Joker?
This one is just some random dude saying, "Now that's a winning hand." I don't know what it's. I don't know what this guy's from in
character at all.
the Rifts universe. Ooh, break. Yeah. That. Anyway. So that takes out these 6.
So time to move.
But you know the spider's coming. Are you just going to try to run, or are you going to do something
The
else?
6 are done. We finished them off.
The 6 are done.
Okay.
There's
Oh man.
probably more some other way, but she's like,
Yeah. Let's make our way. I still want to. I don't know if you guys care. I still want to do the ordnance trebuchet attempt.
Yeah, well, we have to do that. The question is, are we going to do her idea about trying to leave an explosive here for...
See, I don't know if those guys know what they're talking about. I think that thing is the center of it.
I'm all for breaking it up then. I think the initial plan was still the best plan. I think she knows what she's talking about, so we should take it into consideration.
I think it's at least worth a shot to try to blow it up.
So she slams the thing down. You now hear the wail getting louder. You can hear it crashing through. So she slams the stuff down and opens the crate.
I'm just afraid if it doesn't work that we have nothing for the tower.
You can, in this one quick action you've got, either grab just a detonator, so you could detonate the rest of the explosives in the, basically grab a detonator and arm everything, or you can grab a detonator, grab a brick, and the bricks are big, which would lower the yield by a quarter of...
Fuck it, leave it.
...of this thing, but you would have an extra explosive to try to launch out of the trebuchet if you want.
Leave it. We can always launch bricks if we have to.
It's up to you.
Let's leave it.
So you leave everything?
Yeah.
Pull the explosive out. So you pull the detonator out, arm everything. She slams it shut and tosses it into the pile of corpses, and then you guys all run and jump into a building. The Spider Skelebot comes in. Stealths.
Do I have to roll for pressing a button?
You don't have to roll that, but...
Fuck, I missed it!
No, it's on top.
I should see if you armed it correctly, but I'm not going to do that to you.
I do have knowledge explosives
I
if you need
I know.
me to fucking
I know.
do that.
Oh, yeah.
Stuck right now. Okay. 11. What'd you get, Mitch?
11.
Mitch got 11. Hey-o.
Wow.
Luckily I get to reroll this guy.
Yeah. Is that a 1? So it's an 11 so far.
I mean, just 11 so far. Plus 2 more.
13.
What'd you get?
11.
Okay. So it stops and it's looking around. The beams coming out of it. Got a 10. It was so close to getting you guys.
They dead.
You're just hiding. You're it's
I look like a burning corpse.
It's crawling around, going from building to building, grabbing up on buildings, looking inside of them. It's amazingly articulate for just being what it was, a walking robot transportation vehicle. It's crawling up. Its head actually actuates and moves and looks around. You can feel the heat of its eyes blazing over things. When it gets near you, you can almost feel that pulsing from those veins all over it. Crawls over, one of its legs even comes into the building you're in, and it crawls over, and then you hear its mouth open, and the sound of the vines coming out of it. So you know it's over by the bodies. Yeah, it's
I don't know if it's all right.
Massive explosion. You hear screeching. You get thrown forward. The building tilts that you're in.
Can I increase the fire?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You stand up in the midst of all this explosive force hitting you. Your face all doing that crazy warble as the blast waves hit you, and you intensify the heat. You see this thing in the middle of it all screeching. Roll me a d10.
With a wild card 2 or just a d10?
Just the d10.
9.
Nice.
Not bad.
That's the things that aren't flammable.
Yeah.
So
even its skin is catching fire, even though it's not flammable.
It blasts up, it lands, hits a building. It's screeching. It's on fire. One of its legs is gone. The other one's mangled. It slides down. The guns are all messed up. There's explosives in where its cartridges would have been. It's burning and melting, and you just see like 2 of its legs are starting to and it starts to crawl off north.
Shooter! Can we take a break at the 2-hour mark?
We absolutely can. Let's take a quick break. We'll get back for the exciting conclusion. Hopefully it's not your conclusion.
Hey.
It's like seeing everything in high definition.
All right. You need to use the facilities.
Oh, okay.
All right. All of the Skelebots are now on high alert. They're all running towards this area. So you guys need to make haste to the trebuchet. That's your plan, or hide and stealth it out. Like, it's the question of, do you think you can get that trebuchet pointed and armed while fighting off
There's no way.
Skelebots,
We've
or
really.
you want to hide?
Sorry, I don't think so. I think at this point we've successfully attacked the hell out of that thing. It's obviously not dead yet, but I think attempting to adjust the trebuchet at this point is a moot point. It seems like we're going to be overrun.
So we're gonna wait.
What do you think? Because the ordnance is gone, all you'd be chucking at it now would be bricks, and it's already set up that way. It seems like that wasn't effective in the first place.
I mean,
we can either hide for now, or I think we can be more effective if we chase down what's left of the spider walker.
I think we should try to do that.
Which one? I said like 3 things.
No, the move with the spider walker. At least try to see where it's heading.
Okay.
All right.
Try to stay
So
close to it.
you chase after the spider. Doing that, you are spotted by Skelebots, but you can keep out pace of them while you're trying to keep up with the spider walker. The spider walker is crawling, and it's doing pretty fast with just having those 2 legs and dragging itself across the ground. But it is heading up the trail to the castle.
Damn it. How far? Like, are we keeping pace with it? Are we gaining on it? Is it leaving us behind?
Dave, which everyone's pace is?
6.
Ooh, I don't know the pace in a while.
8.
Is it 6?
Pace 6. We're pretty quick, actually.
She can keep up with it.
Oh. We're
Maybe,
moderately quick.
And she's like, actually, she can't even really keep up with it. She says, if I fly again, I can catch it. I just don't know what I'm going to do to it.
Yeah. Shit.
But I mean, obviously, it's running somewhere. Like, injured animals go somewhere to stand their ground or heal or rest. So it's going somewhere. Do we want to keep chasing it, or do we want to turn around and deal with these Skelebots and figure out another plan?
At the risk of sounding cliche, I can keep burning it. Like, we might be able to catch everything on fire. If it goes to the central hub and we kill it there and I kill it with fire, I might be able to continue killing everything with fire. I'm not tired yet.
I was like, I don't necessarily care about these Skelebots behind us. I mean, they are a threat, but this thing's the bigger threat. If we let it go where it's going and possibly get healed back to its normal self or put back together, like, we're in a shit ton of trouble.
Plus, it's building those things. If it's flesh, if the flesh that is controlling the Skelebots is controlled by the skull, which seems to be the case since it's calling them, killing the Skelebot, or the skeleton walker might kill the zombie bots.
Yeah, we gotta do whatever we can to destroy that.
Let's make our way towards that U-shaped thing among the tree dots.
This castle wall. Hey, look at that. I mean, it's the shittiest one, but
still an ace.
Watch us all get aces.
Watch everyone gets an ace. God damn it.
King, queen.
All right.
Queen of spades for Shani. And a 5.
See, if you had dealt me last, like you said, it would have been horrible.
All right.
You had to break your
all
own
of you
rules.
guys are going to... Everything right now is in long range with this thing. This will be... Like, if you ran this turn, you can keep pace with it for one turn. So you'd still be in long range next turn. If you want to attack it, you're going to be in long range, and then next turn it's going to be out of range.
I mean, if we continue to run...
If you run, you're going to keep... Sorry, I should explain the entire thing about running and keeping pace with it. It's going to... If you choose not to attack and just run with it, you're not going to lose sight of it. But it's going to get ahead of you outside of your range bands.
Mm-hmm.
So you can either just try to keep up with it and see where it's going and try to attack where it stops, or get one last volley at it.
I can hit it. You can hit it. But if we don't stop it, we also get beset on by zombie bots.
Yeah. The other things, like, she can keep pace with it easy if she flies. So she could keep an eye on it if you guys wanted... Like,
obscure area.
Obscure area. Also, if you jumped into the forest, you could probably lose the Skelebots.
Alright.
I almost think we might want to just keep pace with it.
Let's run after it.
Because, like you said, possibly where it gets where it's going, if we can...
She puts her armor on and then does something else underneath her wrist, and like her... her hand catches fire, and then a sword appears out of it. It is a khopesh. If you've ever seen a khopesh, it is an Egyptian sword. So
how's that backward hooky thing?
It's not backwards. That's actually the front. That it hooks out, and that's the blade side. So
yeah,
yeah, but the blade is the front, not the hook inside. Yes. So the blade is the curved edge, not the inner edge.
Gotcha.
So, but yes, it looks like that. You know, so now she looks full Egyptian warriored out. She's running. You keep pace with it, and it's getting away. It just, like, every one of its drags with its legs is like you full out flat running, and it's just. It gets up to the castle where that big web of veins is, and it kind of crawls up into it, and they just coat it over top of it and start feeding into it, and you can start to see pieces and everything coming back on it.
Boo. God damn it.
Did that just use, by the way, all these turns?
Yes.
We were out of that combat run.
Okay.
Since you decided to just chase it. Sorry.
He's like,
I'll hold on to
No,
these.
no. Let's play for real. Let's play for real.
Alright.
Come on.
he's like,
So-
since you made the wrong decision.
I know. I mean,
It's not the wrong decision.
I didn't make
You
that
wanna-
decision. It was
You
the
are
word
now, like,
consensus.
since you were full running, the
that's
zombie bots don't run fast.
Yeah.
You've got like 2 turns of just free and clear if you want to try to lay into this thing.
Plus, now it's where we need it to be to
It's not moving, it's not dodging.
just
And I still
annihilate
have a
everything.
lot of power left. I'm ready to burn some shit. So.
So, right before you, like as you're running up there, you're like, we heard an explosion. Did you destroy the castle yet?
Mute.
No, we had to take out some of those zombie bot things, as well as that big skull tanky thing.
Whoa, you took out the Strife Walker?
Well, sort of. It kind of crawled away, though, and made it to the castle.
Make me a smarts check.
Make me a
Just
talking
smart.
to
Let's do
yokels
smarts
roll.
D6.
Talking to roll.
Smarts
yokels
with like a wild, basically.
Smarts D6 and a wild. So this is a common knowledge check, but only you're getting it because it's common knowledge.
So
So it's a smarts a D6, like as your knowledge,
Perfect. Then a die.
and then your
wild
wild
card.
card.
okay.
6 is not very good.
No, what'd you get? 6 total.
No, I got what? 7 plus 4 is
Oh, it's
11.
a 7. Excuse me.
11.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he called this thing a Strife Walker, which could be just common parlance, but it's also like almost everyone knows what a Skull Walker is.
Ask him what he means by Strife Walker.
What do you mean by Strife Walker?
What? Hey, give me that! Shut up! Shh. What? You hurt the thing?
Strife Walker.
Yeah. Did you kill it?
No.
I mean, it's probably controlling all those Skelebots, so if you killed it...
Alright.
And that's when you got up and it started vining up. So you can keep talking as you blast into this thing.
That's brilliant.
Do you want to say anything else to him while you're shooting?
Y'all have any idea how it could be destroyed?
The explosives didn't work?
They didn't take care of it all the way.
I don't know, just drop a building on it. I don't know.
God damn it.
It is in a building.
But we can drop it with a trebuchet if we smash the building with a trebuchet.
So mark off whatever grenade you're going to
Or-
use. I would recommend using the most powerful grenade you have.
And I can, if I really get not so lucky, I can melt the foundation.
So the most powerful grenade would be with the AP on it.
AP or the plasma? Like you have a plasma one, don't you?
You have fucking plasma?
Yeah.
I do.
That'll
Dude.
hit and burn.
Yeah,
So-
like any fires you can set are a good thing for me. I
The only
So
reason I asked though, just because like
didn't know you had a fucking plasma grenade.
doesn't-
they're rare.
the-
He doesn't have many.
That's
plasma
okay. I just didn't know you had
doesn't
any.
do any armor piercing. That's why I was just
He
curious.
doesn't do? Damn.
I can change that.
Not that I have any written down. I'm pretty sure.
So, well, whichever one you would instinctively use.
My immunity to plasma means that plasma is burning damage.
Yeah,
I can create more burn from that.
Correct.
Burn. Yeah.
You,
mean-
it is fire. You can enhance it.
We can use plasma because I have the potential to do more damage overall with it.
Yeah. It's super damaging. So you launch a plasma, you turn up, you start blasting it. Go ahead and roll your everything burns.
You just straight up
D10.
turned up. Getting this party
Just one
started.
d10.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. It's damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not damage, this is just a table roll. I just want to see.
5.
Okay. So you're increasing the heat, you're hitting this thing. It doesn't seem to be affecting the veins. It's affecting the brick and all that kind of stuff around it. But the more heat you're pumping into it, the more magic essentially you're pumping into this thing. Just the faster the veins pulse and try to get the thing back together. You have one more turn before zombie bots are going to get up on you.
Is there something I can do to make to spread the fire and then let it go and the fire's not magic anymore?
I mean, it's like he started with plasma.
Yeah.
So there's a part of this that isn't magic. This thing just seems to be resistant to everything, anything. Go ahead and make me notice checks while you're up here.
Wait, did I already use this plasma grenade?
Yes.
You think I would have you notice a fucking...
I don't need to roll damage or anything? It just
No.
Just...
It's straight shot. It's not moving. So,
Okay.
like, you just... Plunk, and, you know...
Just making sure, right?
11 for me.
Okay.
I definitely do not have my sense, correct?
Oh, yeah, you're up on the ley line almost now, but you are not getting fatigue. Like, you can feel it there, but it's not overwhelming you for some reason.
Okay.
It's weird. It's like it's going somewhere else.
Yeah, give your nuts a tug. Let's see what's going on.
Alright, so that's already 14.
Yep.
Plus 7 more is 21.
Jesus Christ, I noticed the shit out of it. You see everything
you launch
from
that up
every
there.
angle.
I mean, you launch that grenade up there, and you're watching him burn it, try to burn this thing, and then, like, you're realizing the ley line is right there, and that you're not being overwhelmed, so you kind of, like, start trying to take a look through the webbing, and in the courtyard of this castle, it looks like there's a series of stone, like standing stone, Stonehenge type thing going on, and above that, a rift is open. But the rift is not normal rift, like just a big gaping chasm into another world. It's like it's in one of those spheres, like labyrinth spheres. So it's all like in on itself. And you kind of like see shapes in front of the rift. But you feel that the magic, like you're just overwhelmed. Absolutely just, your senses of magic are obliterated. And you can see that it's all coming from that thing and right out into, that's where all the red and all the veins are coming from. It's pumping right into this. So it doesn't matter how much magic, how much ordnance you throw when this thing is in that, because it's tapped into the power of the universe itself of a rift.
Sorry, you wasted your plasma grenade.
I've wasted a few grenades on this freaking session.
I wouldn't say they're not. They have not been.
They've not been wasted.
No,
They
just...
got you to survive. That one was kind of wasted.
The rare one we talked about for
Yeah.
a few minutes before you
Right.
fired it. Yeah, like you wasted that one. Sorry.
So
How are we going to get that? What are we going to do about that?
Oh, did that not mean run? Just kidding.
When we're here,
I mean, as long as this thing is in that web healing, like the veins are healing this thing, right?
and the rift is
And the rift is feeding the veins, and
it's in the veins.
But we can't
too,
even
right?
get to the rift.
yeah, you
Right.
can't get to the rift past this thing from here. So you need to get this thing out of this web somehow.
Do you got a crowbar? I don't know.
obscure area.
Obscure area. But you might want to get out of here because you're between this thing that's going to be waking up soon
Yeah, we're going to need
and
to.
Skelebots.
I guess we're going to the woods.
We're back to the trebuchet.
Well, then we'd have to go through the Skelebots.
And we can.
Zombie bots, whatever.
You can go through the woods.
As I say, we can skirt them. It's going to take a few seconds.
Yeah.
It's going to give that thing more time to regroup. But eventually, we'll get ourselves to the trebuchet. I don't know if we can move it or whatever we're going to do beyond that, but I don't think.
And Shani says, I can fly one more time, pick both of you up, and get us back there, but I'd be done. I wouldn't be able to defend
She
you guys
hasn't done
anymore.
much anyway. Let's use her. Let's do
Yeah.
it. Fly us over there.
She picked your she picked the ordnance up. And she killed the last
Just
Skelebot.
lift the stuff, NPC. Quit talking to
You're saying
us.
if like, she won't have any powers to defend the trebuchet.
That's fine.
Okay.
We'll just launch her
That's fine.
second.
Let us make our mistakes.
So she
All or nothing. Boom. Yeah.
she calls out her wings, reaches over, breaks
Beats
the
and
chain,
Zippo. Let's do this shit.
breaks the chain on her arm, grabs the both of you, and the Skelebots fire upon you as you're flying
Damn it,
over.
they have guns.
Yes, that whole thing. Neighbors need to keep it down over there.
Jeez.
That's the sound their guns make.
Oh, for the guy, I was like, God, it's dark. You're like, we just heard a homicide.
The zombie bot's good.
Each of you gets hit
Oh,
once.
boo, not me. I'm on fire. And I
No,
just
you're not.
fuck,
She's holding
damn
you.
it, I knew it. I knew as soon as you were like, you shoot on both, I'm like, I can't turn my armor on.
What's your toughness at?
That's fucking 5.
You now have 2 wounds on you
Boo.
as you get shot.
So I go 1 and then 2, right?
Yep. So you're at -2 to all rolls.
Ouchie.
Oh shit. What's your armor?
Well, my total toughness will be 11.
Okay.
Because armor is 5, and then my toughness is 6.
You take 2 wounds.
Lassie, you got me good.
I feel
what you
confident.
got? Seriously? You just got 2
Yeah,
wounds?
he re-rolled something in
I
there.
rolled a
So
six,
she
yeah.
said, "Oh shit."
We were doing so well.
Yep. She gets hit and wounded.
Fuck
Remember
off.
when we said all or nothing? That might have been a bad
Oh,
joke.
so we're on. We're good.
All right. So she flies you guys all the way back down, like crashes into the pit of the trebuchet area.
Oh.
She is wounded. You're
Look,
both wounded.
Look, the rest of the
She wasn't gonna be able to do anything anyway. I don't really care that she's wounded. No offense.
Well, we're here now. We're away from the things. Can we move it? Can we tell? Can we move it?
It's got a
Face it to the.
little turn crank thing to aim it.
I know how that works. So I'll do
I
that.
hope all of you know how that works. So,
I don't know.
Well, let him do that because I
So-
probably have to load this thing.
all right. Once you get it aimed, you know, of course, now a whole horde of zombies is starting to come out of the woodwork of the forest and everything towards you. Try to get that thing wrapped around the stone block. And these stone blocks, like, it's as big as this half of this table, about up to this height.
So you're saying
Stone
the trebuchet
block.
has to be put, the sling has to be put around the
Around
blocks. The
it,
blocks are not going anywhere.
The blocks aren't going anywhere.
Alright.
So once you get that aimed, what you think is correct, make me a smarts
Attention grenade.
a smarts
I'll put
notice.
a plasma grenade on it so I can waste that shit.
You get these things are all the time. Smarts notice.
Yeah, what is your notice? A D6?
Yes.
I'm going to say smarts notice or smarts shooting, whichever is higher, to try to line this up to best your ability.
Do you even have
It is saying, I have shooting. Fuck you.
We were going to readjust that, right?
Yeah, we was going to change some things around.
So
It's
just
okay.
roll notice for now.
We got to say we'll roll for what we got. Oh my god.
You also get to reroll.
Remember, it's -2 for everything.
It's okay. So it was a 10 and a 6 was 16, 18. So 16 is what I remain at.
Okay, nice. So you get it lined up. Now you need to get the thing wrapped around.
Yeah,
the
now
first
you
of the
roll good.
Skelebots are within range of you. Are you going to let them shoot, or are you going to try to burn them down?
You should.
Oh,
You're done.
I'm done.
You're
lining?
done
Oh,
now.
no, we're
Now that you're done aligning,
God damn it! Let's
now that you're
do
done
this
aligning,
shit.
he has to strap it in.
Burst. So,
All right. So you go ahead and make me a. It's just a
it's a regular old
strength.
smart psionics, right? Oh, me.
Let's do strength repair or strength
Should be.
survival. I guess. I mean, this is really just tying a knot.
Isn't
like,
it knowledge? I mean, wouldn't that common knowledge tying a knot or like?
what's your survival?
Survival or is a D6.
And your
My repair is a D6.
so it's a D6 regardless.
What is your
Pretty much.
French battlement score?
I didn't take that.
French siege engines.
There you go. Yeah, right.
So strength in that.
What's your
plus
knowledge explosive, like ordnance, that kind of thing?
D6.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, you pretty much
that's
you're just done.
it.
So my
He's
strength,
got it.
my strength plus whatever D6
Yeah,
plus my wild.
plus your wild.
Okay. 9.
You want
My,
to keep that, and
no,
you get
minus
-2.
So
Re-roll that
that's-
shit, dude. 7 is not a good roll.
You want to spin a Benny?
You want to do it once, you can do it. Come on, man, all or nothing.
Okay.
Beats and Zippo, we can do this shit. Come on.
I mean,
Let's do it. Good luck. Look.
Do it.
Look. Yeah,
Hey!
Woo!
So that's 12 so far.
Yes. 13.
13 minus
11.
11.
Oh, it's way better
All
than
right.
a 7, dude.
So you're like strapping that up. Go.
Oh, what's that? What's that?
So what are you at? 12.
Damn, man.
21. Minus your 2.
Minus 2. Oh, sorry. It's only a 19.
That's a hit with a raise. So go ahead and do damage. You're bursting again?
I am bursting.
Woo!
Is
Oh,
an
no.
11.
That's more exciting when it's not on a 10.
That's 110.
I was like, ooh, you got a 20.
What'd you do?
2011.
11. You want to spend a Benny to reroll
let's
that?
do it.
Alright, give me a Benny.
I don't have many of these. What is that? 16? This is 12. Fuck. Natural 12.
Just 12.
Just 12. That's great.
What
No
did you have
AP.
last time?
10. Negative 2. Fuck.
No, it doesn't affect damage.
Oh, well, 2d10 mega damage.
2d10 mega damage. What's the AP? No AP?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no, nothing.
What was your last roll?
11.
So you sear them and they look angry.
Pissed them off for you, buddy.
Got it.
Give your nuts a tug. Let's see what you got.
They start laying fire into the place, but since you're behind the block cover, they're smashing into it and all that, and you're ducking down. You have it strapped in. You think it's aimed right. You don't you haven't adjusted anything about distance or anything like that, so you have no idea how far this is going to go. You don't know how you can see the mechanism of how
I was going to say
works.
that earlier. The only thing I can come up with is I've seen the map. I've got the distance in my head. I think we're going to hit it at least into the nest.
The problem is you have no reference of the range notches.
Mm-hmm.
So it's you see the mechanism that adjusts range, but you don't know how far this thing is going to fly.
It was faced into the corner earlier, right?
It was faced.
It was faced away from it to the southwest.
Correct.
And
Southeast.
Southeast. Did we see wreckage there?
Nope.
We didn't see the wreckage there, so it flew over that. So what we need to do is keep it maybe a notch lower than it is right now.
Well, again, you don't know how far this thing is going to fly at all. What your only hope is you can launch this,
All hands.
see what that range is, and then figure out increments from there.
Worst comes to worst.
Fire!
Worst comes
I mean,
to
right
worst.
now it's just.
Worst
Let's
comes
do
to
it.
worst, we launch it and it takes out some of these.
But we have to
Oh,
fire.
they're way too close.
We're not going to know what's going to happen anyway. We have to fire one way or the other.
Yeah.
We didn't see the wreckage earlier, so it's going to shoot farther than where these guys are. We know that for sure. Unless it's never been fired. Let's do it.
Unless you did it wrong, and then it's just going to swing that thing around and pound into the ground right here,
I rolled
which
really
would
high.
kill some of
It
them.
would kill some of them. It just goes... It just picks a block up and throws it right down. Sorry.
Ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Who wants to roll?
Hold on.
To roll to fire it?
Uh-huh.
Fuck, I aimed it. What did I use? What did I roll to aim it?
You rolled
You rolled a notice, smarts
rolled your
notice.
smarts notice and shooting it on your nose.
It would be smarts and gunnery, but you don't have gunnery. Just use smarts D6
Just the smarts and D6?
and the wild die.
Oh, alright. Smarts, D6, and a wild die.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, my smarts is a 10.
That's good at least.
Where's my other D6?
Oh, there's a bunch right there, though.
There it is. Hey. Oh, yeah. So here, 10.
15?
15.
Yeah.
I successfully pulled the lever that fires the trebuchet.
It launches, comes up, that thing slings out of it. This big block is now just tumbling through the air, and that's when the first grenade comes from the Skelebots, slams into the trebuchet, and just turns it to kindling. All of a sudden, you guys are showered with just kindling and force down. Gunfire erupts now that there's like a dozen of them around you. Grenades are flying over top of you. Gunfire. You guys are hiding behind blocks. Shani's just kind of rolled up. She has her sword out. She's just like looking at you. And you guys all kind of just... All you can do is hope. You peek up over that thing and look. And you just see that block roll and fly up to that gate. And you see the little spider.
Oh, I thought you said the grenade hit the block.
No, it hit the trebuchet.
I was like, well, we're fucked.
Oh, no, it hit the trebuchet. The trebuchet is destroyed.
So,
I was like, I'm scared.
So we don't have another shot.
So the block is flying through the air, and you're seeing up at the castle with a little spider face right in the middle of it, looking out at you. It's almost healed back to full. It's a and it just takes the corner right into its eyebrow, pulls it out of the web with this sickening snapping sound of veins, like a big spray of red, like coats up the friggin' castle.
This is a Halloween episode.
Yep. Like, impacts it into the ground, crumpling it, and then you see it just kind of go out of sight into the courtyard as it's just mangling the spider skull walker. Like, tons and tons of stone just landing and tearing this thing apart.
Obscure area.
The gunfire all stops.
Yeah.
You stand up and all the spider skull walkers are on the ground.
The zombie boys.
So yeah, all the zombie bots.
We need to go make sure that gate's closed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, good job, guys.
So you guys jump out and run up to the castle?
Yeah, we've got to...
Okay. So you guys run up to the castle and get inside, and there's, bits and pieces of Skullwalker all on the ground with this brick just impaled in the ground. Like, you know how big this stone was. There's only about, like, a foot or two sticking out of the ground, and there's Skullwalker crumpled all around it. It almost made it to the standing stone ring where the rift is being contained in that orb. When you run in and you see the vines or the veins making their way to the crater, trying to get down back to the Skullwalker. You guys run in, and Shani's like, "Oh, I'll deal with that. You make sure those veins don't get to that Skullwalker." And she runs up to the standing stones.
Where the rift is and stuff?
Yep.
Blind the tentacle.
You can just start going up and burning,
Yeah,
trying to keep away from it.
It's burning
You're
time.
blasting away at any little things, like, screaming at you as you're blasting the veins away.
I'm making a mess.
She goes up into the standing stone area and starts, she touches two of the stones that are parallel to each other, like the archways that they kind of make. She touches two of them. Starts incanting, and you see runes start to appear over the way. You are now aware that there's two people running up to the gate from outside.
It's those fuckers on the radio.
The gate lights up, the stones light up, flare, the rift just starts kind of going nuts, the ley line starts going nuts. And then there's a popping sound, like your ears finally pop. Your senses finally come rushing back, but so does all the power of the ley line, and you get fatigued. As that thing pops, the rift unravels, all the veins go back up into the rift, which then collapses on itself. And a whole bunch of people come floating down from around the standing stones where their reflections were in that orb. It just kind of pops, and there's villagers, like these people from this town that got stuck trying to run up here and defend themselves at the rift, come down. But the vines stop, they burn up and wilt and destroy. And there's a ley line walker with a bunch of befuddled townsfolk, about 8 or 9 of them. And the two people running up from the gate are in Deadboy armor.
You got more coalition speak in you than I do.
There's also a leyline walker right there as well. Who do you want to talk to?
I don't like much talking. Go see what they want.
See what they want.
They're right behind you. I bet my knuckles nothing happened. My elbow popped.
Alright, so got Leyline Walker and villagers on one side. We got these two dead boys.
Coalition dead boys running up. The rift is closed. You're fatigued. You're wounded.
How much am I fatigued?
One level.
Yeah. Damn it.
You have one fat.
Yeah, you're -3 on all rolls right now.
Sure, let me talk to them though real quick. Hey,
Oh, you got one.
are you did the two from the radio?
Oh yeah, that's us. Good job. Wait, you didn't take out the stones.
Oh, we took out the menace though, yeah?
Yeah, I guess that's good. He's looking around at all these leyline walker and other villager practitioners, and they kind of start backing up real slowly. Did you bring backup?
They asked that to me.
Yeah. Dog boy.
Sure he did.
I mean,
I can say that. You sure did. And then you catch on fire.
The leyline walker steps forward. Says, "Why are we letting these two guys live?"
that's not the point of what he's doing.
Well, now we've told them we're not coalition. We have to decide if we're going to let them run away or take care of them.
I figured you would light up because you're going to kill them.
Oh, and then I finished them off.
Two guys that helped you on the radio. Just incinerate. Ah!
We don't have a lot of love for the coalition. You're like, the two guys that helped you out the whole time? Yeah, I fucking murdered him.
Oh, that's fine.
They're murdered to death. I murdered them dead.
I need to know where you are on the scale.
Gotcha.
That gives
the
me
scale is
more
very
information.
little coalition.
Very little love for the coalition.
They helped us by being like, oh, we can't say anything really besides
It's very
like, you
true.
can try to get here. There might be something there.
We think we know what we're talking about. That's good.
But they don't. They had no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
They just know that there's ordnance and that the standing stones were the problem. But really, the Skullwalker was the problem.
Right. It was hints, not help. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Leyline Walker introduces herself as Denny. She is the protector of this realm, the beleaguered protector. The coalition rolled in here with some new toy with a legion of Skelebots and the Skullwalker that was controlling them. There was nothing the townsfolk can do, so they came up here and she tried to tap into the standing stones, which is a power source. They're magic. It's a magical place. It almost acts as a nexus, even though there's not another ley line running here. She used that as protection for the longest time. Now she's trying to use it to summon something to protect the town. But the Skullwalker shot down the gate right as she did that, which sent the stones off kilter, trapped them inside, and unleashed whatever that thing was that possessed it from another realm. But they've been watching aghast as their town got overrun by demon zombie robots.
How do you spell her name?
Denni. Denny.
Denny, come on. It's your knowledge.
Knowledge.
I only have knowledge of explosives, okay?
That's true. I just saw them like, wait.
I'm actually illiterate.
Are you illiterate?
Yes.
Really? Oh, I forgot
He's
about
coalition. You might be illiterate.
I'm a linguist.
Oh, you're a linguist, that's right.
I
Yep.
speak. I'm
No, that
assuming.
is.
Yeah,
I
it is
remember
what
when I gave you
yeah.
that. I said you could do. So yeah, that is the story.
Sweet.
This place got attacked by these experimental Skelebots and Skullwalker. They tapped into the rift. The rift got disrupted. Unleashed that thing. Possessed everything.
We got a little lucky. We got hurt a lot worse this time.
Oh
than last
yeah,
time.
yeah, that was bad.
Really, yeah, that was really bad.
And the Leyline Walker asked Shani how she was able, because you would have probably had to destroy the stones, which would have killed all the townsfolk too, but Shani knows how to operate these things because she is an Atlantean.
Gotcha. Until next time.
Until next time. An Atlantean undead slayer. Uses tattoo magic. But yeah, that is where you are. You are going to start next session at the ruins of Castle Hill as these folk try to make sense of what they're going to do next.
Perfect.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Next time on the Wileyverse. Thanks for the Halloween episode a week late.
Mm-hmm.